Well, that was a night to day change. Backed off the beta blockers, and this morning I was minutes a mile faster on my workout. Just an ordinary run-of-the-mill workout. Walk 40 minutes and then chug 40 minutes, which is run a quarter mile, walk a quarter mile. And just actually had some pep to my step, and I felt so much better than the fog I've been in for the past couple months. It's interesting that my knowledge of pharmacological stuff, drugs, mainly comes from the sports world. When I went to the hospital almost a year ago where I couldn't breathe and they realized that I had too much fluid in me, they gave me Lasix. And they're like, "Oh, do you know what Lasix is?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, they use it in horse racing. It actually keeps horses from bleeding in their lungs, and it also makes them go faster." And so after I got out of the hospital and they put me on these beta blockers, the only thing I really knew about beta blockers was that guys were using them pretty much, I think, to cheat in like archery and shooting in the Olympics, because it basically calms you down. It calms down the fight or flight response. And so you can be pretty chill and take your shots without your heart racing. And I can tell you, the beta blockers definitely help my poker game. I've been playing a lot of poker lately, and I can definitely tell the difference. But in training and working out, not having that fight or flight response isn't so good. Now, I should have checked on what beta blockers actually do. You know, you're kind of like, oh, beta. So I'm thinking, oh, they block like beta waves or something in your head. And then thankfully I saw an article, I believe was put out by Training Peaks, talking about beta blockers in training, and basically, you know, said, oh, that it blocks adrenaline and a couple other hormones. And I was like, oh, great. So pretty much you don't have the fight or flight experience. And I get it, they put you on it because they want to try and de-stress your heart. But also, you know, just, I think they're looking at me and they just see fat old guy and they want to keep me calm and sedated. And, you know, my doctor knows. I mean, I got out of hospital April 25th or whatever, went in April 25th, and I did the race across Tennessee and back across Tennessee. So I did 10 miles a day for 4 months, albeit slow. And so I'm not your typical athlete. I mean, not a typical patient, in that I've been at this since 1979, 42 years of working out at least an hour plus a day. And so I think putting me on the beta blockers just kind of crushes me. And I don't, you know, I'm pretty good with stress. I've been pretty much a low-key person my whole life, handle stress fairly well. Plus, with all the exercising I'm doing, I have the heart rate variability. You know, my heart rate can go up. I mean, back in the day, I used to be able to race at 190, 200, stop, and a minute or two later, it'd be back down in the 40s or 50s or lower. And the same thing goes now. Go up a big hill. Well, before the beta blockers, get 150, 160, and then back down to the 50s. So I have that heart rate variability. And so I think that's a non-issue. So I'll monitor all this stuff. And of course, I did that video on the vagus nerve and how to control that. So I'm definitely working on the breathing techniques. You know, the vagus nerve takes care of all those involuntary aspects of your body, and, you know, work on that. And of course, I'll still take the blood pressure medicine. Blood pressure's always been pretty high. I think it's partly because, you know, if you got a big heart, athletic heart, you're going to push out a higher pressure. But I can't get any of these doctors to see that. So keep on the blood pressure meds. It messes me up some, but it might keep me alive. Whereas these beta blockers are just mainly messing with my hormones in my head. And I'm just not up to doing that at this point. Maybe later I'll need to do that, but I think I'm going to keep from that. So working on that whole vagus nerve thing with the breathing. I did my breathing this morning. I'll tell you, my sleep was pretty good last night. So looking forward to that, and looking forward to heading to Vegas Friday morning with the Jester. You can tell that the world is coming back to normal. Just a lot more traffic on the streets. And again, I saw a school bus this morning, which is always nice. That I'm glad the kids are back in school. Yes, this Wednesday, which is today, April 21st, Jester's heading out to Santa Barbara Ranch to do the Born to Run race. He's going to do the 100 mile there. Hopefully finish, it starts at noon. Hopefully finish around noon on Thursday, sleep there at the ranch. Then he's going to drive here to Bakersfield, hang out here for a little bit, and then we're going to leave Bakersfield at 2 or 3 in the morning so we can get to the Jackpot 100-mile USTF track field race that starts at 8 a.m. Friday morning. Zach Bitter, Jake Jackson, Maria Lasik, and a bunch of others are going for national title, $10,000 prize pool on the line. So look forward to heading out there and covering it, and it should be a fun race. Going to be a little warm because this race is usually in February, but instead it's going to be in April now. So as always, stay healthy, be boring, and please subscribe.